Micro Four Thirds is not dead. It's still alive and kicking, and we have got multiple reasons why. Well, at least one reason. Let's go. So yes, me and Locke, we've both used Micro Four Thirds before. Locke bought one of the OG Micro Four Thirds cameras, EP1.
EP1.
And I've just been a GH4 and GH5 user, but we're revisiting it today to give you some good reasons why you should still buy it. And we got our kit from MPB. This video is sponsored by MPB. It's a great place to go if you want to buy used gear. But it's not just about buying used gear on MPB. You can sell gear.
It is very easy.
It is easy to use. You just get a quote pretty much instantly. Essentially, you type in the gear that you want to sell, add the condition, and then Bosh, instant quote it. The process is incredibly smooth. Sometimes they even rate the gear in better condition and give more money than the original quote. Then you just pack it up, and then the courier will come collect it.
Yeah,
done.
You don't even have to leave your home.
Yeah.
Or your sofa.
Yeah, so you can either trade it in for other gear, or you can just sell it, get some cash. If you want to trade in some gear, give MPB a try. But Locke, you don't need that. You don't need your S5 II because I brought you something.
Oh, and then I have my EP1.
Yeah, look at this.
My own EP1. I found it secondhand in Hong Kong for 200 Hong Kong dollars. Like
What?
Yeah, 20 pounds. I was like, what? Is it a joke to you? It's my lovely EP1. Now it only worth 200 Hong Kong dollars.
But anyway, you won't be needing an S5 because this is your camera for today.
Okay.
That's a transition.
Boom!
Oh, there we are. Now we're on the GH5 II. Oh, what a transition. Full frame might be what everyone desires, but a great Micro Four Thirds body with excellent video features like the GH5 II is going to be hard to beat for features for the money. From around £759, I just checked it on the phone. Compared to the S5 II, they cost quite a bit more. Of course, that is a full frame sensor, but I think Micro Four Thirds is still pretty good for video. With the GH5 II, they improved the dynamic range, so it doesn't look quite as Locke would say, video-like or camcorder-like.
I like dynamic range.
I like dynamic range. We should get a T-shirt with I love dynamic range.
It's pretty important to me, and this is good. Look at all the cloud details.
It's all about that roll off from the highlights, isn't it? Because that's one thing that can make it look more Micro Four Thirds. And okay, yes, you're buying Micro Four Thirds, but you don't want it to look Micro Four Thirds. Dynamic range with the GH5 II is almost a stop improved over the GH5, although it still can't quite compete with the dynamic range of the full frame S5 II. If you expose carefully for the highlights, the decent exposure latitude with the GH5 II will allow you to push those shadows a little without compromising on noise or colour.
And the lens is much lighter and smaller.
Yes, that is it, isn't it? What have you got on? I put on a 8-25. Is it F4 fixed?
F4 fixed.
So that is equivalent to a 16 to 50mm lens, which is, you can't really get that in full frame, can you?
Although it's equivalent F8. So
actually,
everything is sharp now.
Yeah. Alright, that's one Micro Four Thirds look you can't really escape from. With the smaller sensor, you'll get greater depth of field, but that can be a good thing. For example, there might be times where you need to shoot wide open, but you don't want everything bokeh-fied. Okay, the focus is probably not so good on the GH5 II compared to some of the later Panasonics. The S5 II has got phase detection. I think the stabilization on the full frame Panasonics are already pretty good.
Yeah.
But I just get the feeling that with Micro Four Thirds,
I think it's better.
it is better. There's no denying that the S5 II has one of the best IBIS for video on the full frame camera, but when you compare it to the GH5 II, the Micro Four Thirds camera looks like it's shot on a gimbal. And I think also there's less rolling shutter on that. S5 II has still got a little bit of rolling shutter.
Yeah.
The stabilization on that, I found that is, when it comes to getting handheld shots, it's really easy to get super steady shots. When it comes to going to press events and stuff like that, I don't think I've found any other camera that is as good as the GH5 with the stabilization for just getting steady product shots.
Yeah, and you've got the boost. IS as well.
Boost. It's got to be said like that as well. Boost. It's not just the camera bodies that make Micro Four Thirds marvellous for video and stills. But there's also the lenses, because you have got the equivalent to 16-50, so it's 8-25 f4. This is a 25 f1.2.
Oh.
So you could say it's equivalent to a 50 1.2, and somebody's going to actually no. Doesn't matter. No, it says f1.2 on it, so it's f1.2.
Mr. Actually.
Yes. Great glass, super fast, in a tiny package. The only thing is that you need to be close up to get shallow depth of field, and even then, it's not crazy shallow. At middle distances, a lot of things will be in focus. But anyway, yes, standard Billingham Hadley. What have I brought out so far? I brought out the GH5-2 along with an 8 to 25mm, and then I've got the EM5-3, which was put in the front pocket here, along with a 25 1.2. I'm going to change lenses now. I've got another lens. Let's chuck that in, so you can see just how tiny the sensor is. Look at that, it's so cute. Now I've got a 12 to 100mm f4.
Equivalent to 24 to 200.
Yeah, that range.
F4.
F4. So Panasonic has just recently released a 24. No, is it 24 or 28 to 200? Is that right?
Not care. Don't care.
Ah, Locke, you savage. Even though most people don't actually care, this full-frame Panasonic lens is hugely practical but ultimately boring. It might be smaller and lighter than the Micro Four Thirds lens I'm using, but at least the one I'm using has a fixed aperture throughout, that massive range. For them to do that with a full-frame lens would make it significantly larger and heavier. I like the aspect ratio of 4x3. This is just right. 4x3. For any prominent or solitary subjects with height, I prefer 4x3 to 3.2 aspect ratio because you can fit it in without having to deal with extra space on the side. Let's take this portrait for example. It's the tightest I can crop without cutting off his hat or hand. Not literally, but that leaves a bit too much blank space. In 4x3 you can fit in the height without needing things to fill that empty area. Of course, if he wasn't wearing such a tall bloody hat it would be a different matter. But let's look at another portrait. I think this is already too tight to crop. It would have been nice to show more of her arms, but already there's too much boring background filling the frame. 4x3? Sorted! If you want to emphasise the sense of height of things in a frame, 4x3 works much better too. And if you're coming from smartphone photography, 4x3 is similar to what you're already using. Instagrammable aspect ratio.
Like the 6K I'm shooting right now, you can crop into vertical.
Because at the minute, when you're filming 16:9, and if you try to crop that for Instagram, it's a pain in the bum.
Yeah, and you can see a lot of those Instagram reel or YouTube shots that the framing clearly shifting left and right.
Yeah. The S5 II takes 6K in a less wide 3x2 aspect ratio, but the 4x3 5K from the GH5 II requires even less savage cropping if you're potentially going to make social media reels or shorts out of it. Admittedly, we haven't handled all of the Micro Four Thirds lenses before, but these are great, offering quite a lot of range in a really surprisingly not so big package.
This lens is the zoom range is great.
I mean,
from that to that.
Because with ultra-wide angle zooms, you don't usually, it doesn't go all the way to 50. Usually it ends up stopping at about 35. So 16 to 50 is quite useful because 50, you know, can use for pretty much anything. But there's 24 to 200.
Yeah. And a fixed f4. It is crazy for that size.
You get fast apertures for small lightweight lens, and you get just range in a very small package with fixed aperture.
Because you can get really long lens. On Micro Four Thirds is actually not that long, and you can have like several in your bag.
Well, you might have just blown my load early, Locke. That's a very strange thing to say, I know.
Yeah. It's a bit weird.
Let's put that load back from where it came from for a moment. Even with a long focal length, the excellent Micro Four Thirds stabilisation works really well for stills also. Unfortunately, something else wasn't working quite so well.
Panasonic contrast detect AF is keep focusing on the background.
That is the old school Panasonic.
Yeah.
Before they went to phase detection. S5 II is the only one with phase detection, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Now G9 Mark II as well.
oh, there's people there. Okay, photo of a second. It's everything. The stabilization, the small and lightweight setup that make taking slower shutter speed shots without messing out with your shaky hands a doddle.
So you are having the 8 to 25.
Yeah.
Now I have the 12 to 100.
Oh, that's a lot of face. There's a lot of face action going on. These are the pro lens. Both of them pro lenses.
Pro
which
lens.
just makes it more expensive and bigger, maybe. Weather sealed, but even then, it's still not too big. Right, let's try this shot handheld first. I just want to get a sense of where I want to take the shot from. Yeah, about there. We've got this kind of rope in there, but I can Photoshop that.
AI.
yeah, we don't need to be here, lock. We can just stay at home. For a 5-year-old smaller sensor camera, the results are none too shabby, surprisingly. But what about something a bit older? It's time to move on from this camera because, other than lenses, I've got some cameras. I had the GH5 II, EM5 III. I'm bored of that already. Let's move on to something different. To keep it fresh. No, I don't have a body cap for it, so it's smaller than a sandwich. It's smaller than a bread bin.
Oh.
Look at that. They don't make cameras like they used to a few years ago. This is a GM1. It's just fantastic. It's one of my favourite micro four thirds cameras ever. Look, it's pocketable.
Smaller than the Ricoh GR, is it?
It is, yeah. I mean, okay, it doesn't have as big a sensor as a Ricoh GR, but look at that. It's gorgeous.
And they just stopped doing this. I mean,
Yeah.
they have a G100. It's still a little bit bigger. Well, with a EVF. Wow. Do you have smaller lens than that?
No, unfortunately not.
I have.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. I might just drop and destroy your EP one, but it's okay. It's only worth 20 quid. You can buy that one. So, look at that. That's a perfect fit. Even that looks as too big,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Because the mount of it is even protrudes past the camera. So it's like those old NEXs.
Yeah.
It's just very nicely designed.
Yeah.
It's even got a poppy-uppy flash. Look at that. How do they fit all of that in? Sadly, it seemed like it had a poppy, outy and onto the floor feature too. Oh! Oh dear.
Good as light.
Yeah, so we can find out how much that is worth now if I sell it to MPV. One of the UK YouTubers, it's Micro 4 Nerds. She likes the GM1 as well. Only 1080p video, unfortunately.
But then this is years ago.
Yeah.
This is it was standard in 1080.
It might not set the world ablaze with its 1080 video, but 16 megapixels for stills doesn't sound all too bad, in good light that is. Probably won't be very good for low light, but as I said, you can get very fast lenses for it. But let's see just how bad it might be.
Almost don't focus.
Well, to be honest, it's a Panasonic, so it almost doesn't focus outside anyway. There are several approaches you can take to the lack of high ISO.
I'm on ISO 10,000.
Really? And it looks Technicolor terrible too. Surprisingly, my ISO 12800 shot doesn't look too awfully noisy for my 11-year-old camera. Still, the primary solution to getting clean low light files is to use a lower ISO, slower shutter speed, either by using a tripod or fast lens. Alternatively, one benefit of carrying a small camera is that you can use that backspace for a light. You know, cheat. You can cheat, right? Look at that. Ta-da! Alright, maybe not always going to be the ideal solution for low light inadequacies. You'll just have to accept some of the not so good bits of Micro Four Thirds. Low light, the focus on Panasonic cameras, and the highest megapixels you can get is 25 megapixels with the GH6. There's high-res modes, but it's just not always an ideal solution in any scene that involves movement. Still, there's so many good things with this system, and there's more to see inside my bag. Inside the Hadley, I've also got
Whoa.
and
Whoa.
100 to 400.
100 to 400, equivalent to 200 to 800.
Yep. So essentially, I've got what I had in my bag was it covers from 8 to 25. So all the way from 16 equivalent all the way to 800. There's a bit of overlap with the focal lengths that I'm packing, but in one regular Billingham Hadley, I can cover all of this. Just in one Hadley bag. This makes me feel powerful. With the popularity of cameras like the Ricoh GR series and Fujifilm X100s, photography enthusiasts and hipsters understand the benefits of compact carry cameras with good performance. And that is why Micro Four Thirds still has a purpose in the current day. They have all of the benefits of those aforementioned cameras, but with interchangeable lenses and better video capabilities. If Panasonic and all OM system could concentrate on microfiring their cameras for the future, I'm sure they would eke many more years out of Micro Four Thirds. Sure, some of the new OM system prices are a little hard to take, but you could quite easily put together a very tidy system that covers everything that hardly weighs a thing for a combined cost that really isn't all that much. Oh, transition. Oh.
So the ground got stepped on too much.
Ground has feelings too.
The ground have to recover.
It's had enough of having its face stepped on day in, day out. Day in, day out. I'm going to step on this one now. Frustration. Stabilisation is on. What stabilisation? What language is that? What stabilisation means? 1 over the focal length.
Yeah.
So this is technically too slow. 100th. 100th. I'm having a stroke, Lock. I think I'm having a stroke. Blah, 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 blah. The little recording dot is very small.
Oh wow, yeah. Yamaha make that, and motorbike and piano. I mean, can you imagine BMW make piano as well?
Trying to pronounce it. What a loser. What an absolute loser. Oh no, I busted it. It's gone all 1980s. That's cool though. Oh mate, what's going on?
Well, what's going on is that you dropped it.
Let's take a picture
Whoa,
like that.
look at that. Well, it's not focusing anyway, so Panasonic.
Look at that. Let's take a photo and see what it's like. Still taking photos. Oh no. That is the ultimate art filter.
I wonder how the photos turns out. Oh, it's totally fucked.
That's the technical term for it.